All right, hello and welcome to class today. What you can expect is about 45 minutes of strength work using kettlebells or dumbbells if you don't have those, and then also jump stretch bands or resistance bands. So we're going to start with a little bit of a warm-up, get our joints moving, do some mobilization, really good for flexibility and mobility. Also makes strength work feel a whole lot better for a lot of us, especially if you tend to have sometimes cranky joints. So let's just get moving. You are going to want at least one heavier and one lighter dumbbell and or kettlebell. I'll be demoing with kettlebells today. And then you'll want a couple of bands. If you don't have these bands, they're called jump stretch bands. Use what you got, no big deal. But I've got a lighter and a heavier one of these that I've apparently tied together. Total outtake that y'all are going to see no matter when you watch this video. You can just see it's a big loop. So if you want one or two of those and you have them on hand. Otherwise, adapt with whatever bands you got. No big deal. Okay, so enough talking from me. Let's get moving, shall we? So come onto your hands and knees. I'm going to keep my watch here for time checking, but I know it's going to get in the way with the kettlebell in a moment. And I just want to do a quickie shoulder warm up before we're actually going to use our kettlebell or dumbbell today for a sideline warm up. It's pretty fun. So I want you to spin your elbow pits forward. And what I mean by that is here you can see my elbows are sort of bent and the rough part of my elbow is facing out. The inside of my elbow is what I would call my elbow pit. But if I straighten my elbows and I spin this spot forward, it's going to open up my chest, and it's usually a more stable position for the shoulder. And then all I want you to do is just start to rock forward, a little to the left, a little bit back, and a little bit to the right. So I feel like I use these in pretty much every class I've ever taught in my entire life for the last 3 years. The reason why is because you are waking up all of your joints at one time. This is really a miracle move. We are waking up our wrists, our shoulders, our hips, our knees, and our feet. It's kind of incredible, actually. Okay, come on up. Let's go the other direction. It should also just feel really good. You know, I think there is a great benefit to movements just feeling good. All right, let's go one more. Your range, by the way, might look totally different than mine, and that's totally fine. Come center. If it feels available to you, kick a leg out, and I want you to do the exact same exercise where you sort of rock around. Try not to round your back. So you're going to stick your butt out a little. And I want you to feel kind of the novel stretches that happen through all of your joints. Reverse directions. For me, I got into all sorts of interesting places in my right hip joint that I wouldn't have accessed otherwise. And if you think about it, this is the same ranges that you're going to want for your squats and your deadlifts and some of the strength work that's coming. Okay, pop that leg in, switch sides. Hopefully I'm not too close to my wall. Shift a little over to one side, back, down, and around. Notice if one leg feels entirely different than the other leg. That's how it is for me. Shh. It's okay, no judgment. Good, and then reverse. And then come center, and then take it on in. Okay, from here, grab the lighter of your bands, most likely. If it feels too light, of course, grab a heavier one, and come to kneeling. So your toes can be tucked or untucked, again, up to you. And if you have one of these jump stretch bands, what I want you to notice is if you just hold on to one, this is half the resistance than if you double it up. So depending on your level of strength, you might need this doubled up or just one. So again, one will be a little lighter than two. Come to your kneeling position, tuck your toes or press them into the mat this way. And just start by pulling the band apart. Feel the backs of your shoulders connect and coming up. And we're still pretty cold, so I'm going to just not kill myself and go with the one that's a little lighter for muscle activation as opposed to full-blown strength. Now, if you want a little bit more to play with, let's wake up the pelvis and the hips by sitting our butt back. By the way, your heels do not have to touch your butt. There's no rule that ever said that. And then coming up. But what I am thinking about doing is trying to get my big toes and my baby toes pressing into the ground. if you can handle toes tucked, which is going to wake up my feet and ankles a little bit more. So this is more core than you might have realized, and maybe even more glutes than you might have realized. Just waking up those shoulders. Let's go one more. And then coming on up. Okay, from here, now do double up your band. Hands can be pretty wide. And now I'm going to show you two choices before we add in that little hip hinge thing. So option A to wake up the shoulders here is just going to be reaching the arms overhead as high as feels comfortable, coming down. If you have a shoulder thing, that is probably where you will stop today. If it is available to you, you may need to slide your hands a little wider. You can actually take the arms up overhead and then behind you, you're trying to keep your elbows straight, open chest, and then the arms up overhead and in front of you. So you're holding your spine still. So that's option 2. Now you can do either of those, just keeping your hips up, or come with me, a little bit of coordination. Take your arms overhead and then sit your butt back. And then come up and reach your arms forward. And that's the move. Again, press into those feet, lift up through your inner thighs, engage those glutes a little. Notice if that gives you a little bit more sense of support through your hip joints. Let's go 2 more. And last one. Nice work. So hopefully you're feeling a little awake in your shoulders. Let's get a little awake in our butt and continue to wake up our shoulders. Okay. So from here, what I want you to do is grab the lighter of your weights. Now here's the deal. The weight may or may not be your friend today. So if you do this without weight and body weight only, that is absolutely okay. So we're going to combine having our arm in the air with the weight with a side leg exercise, which is tricky. So I just want you to see before, because it's gonna be hard for me to get in and out of this, if having the weight is not your friend today, you can have your hand on the ground and do these side leg exercises, right, with your hand pressing. Or if you want to challenge yourself, you can have your arm in the air and do some version of these side leg exercises. So you don't have to use the weight if the weight feels a little scary or unstable and you're just not quite there yet for any reason whatsoever. Okay, so what I'm going to do is you're going to see me face away from you because that way I'll end up facing the camera in a moment. But I just want you to see the setup here to get into this. Your bottom hand will grab your weight. Your top hand will be on top. So if I was on this side, my left arm would end up being the left arm in the air. But I'm going to be facing away from you, so it'll end up being my right arm so I can face the camera and you can see me. Okay. So let's give this a shot. You thankfully do not have to contend with a microphone. All right, so I'm lying on my right side. My right hand has my kettlebell. You can also hold on your dumbbell. My left hand has come over it for support. I'm going to roll onto my back, knees bent, feet flat. I'm going to use both arms, if I need to press that right arm up to the ceiling. Now here is the sneaky hard part. My left arm is going to come over my head. My left leg is going to go straight. Here's the fun transition. I'm going to push into my right foot. I'm going to watch my weight at the corner of my eye. Now, there it is. I'm going to let my right leg come forward. So now, I don't know about you, but what I feel, it's like a little bag of worms in my shoulder. My right shoulder is active. Now, if I feel confident, I could take my right leg out. So now I'm in sort of like a plank position, and then I could lift and lower my right leg. So I don't know about you, I feel a lot more core and hips in these than I normally do. Good work. I think that's enough of that for this warm-up. So now to get out of this, bend your right knee gracefully, or not. Roll to your back. Bend your knees, grab your weight with both hands, roll to your right side, park that sucker. Nice job. Okay, let's do the other side. All I'm going to do is turn around so I can get to side number 2. You are welcome to do the same or pull the weight in front of you. Okay, so left side. New adventure, same exercise. Might feel totally different though. So now my left hand, I'm lying on my left side. My left hand has the weight. I'm going to roll onto my back and I'm going to push my weight up into the air. My right arm is going to come over my head. My right leg is going to go straight. Remember, you do not have to use a weight for this. I am going to push into my left foot, watching the weight out of my left hand, and then take that left leg forward. And maybe this is where I stop today. Lots of activation here in that left shoulder, at least for me. I don't know about you. Now, if I feel confident, can you see this is tricky for me too? I can extend both legs and I can play with what happens as I lift and lower my left leg. And I don't know about y'all, but I got some core situation happening in this left side of my body for sure. Okay, to come out of this thoughtfully, bend your left knee. Roll onto your back. Wobbles are okay. Bend your knees. Bend your elbows. Park that weight. Ha! Shake it out. Good job. Let's continue on this core adventure, shall we? We're going to do a little bit of hollow holding, more abdominal activation. Yay. So just a quick note, if you have a neck thing, you'd rather keep your head down, maybe you just hold your legs here. Maybe you reach your legs out straight. You keep the head down. No big deal. Or if even that's a little much, you can just do some heel taps instead for your ab activation. Otherwise, you're going to lift your head up with me. So let's give it a shot. So remember, head can stay down or heel taps if you need a choice. If you're coming along for the ride, bend both knees into your chest. If you want, you can make fists with your hands, which may help you generate tension through your abdominals. Oh boy, words. All right, inhale here. Exhale, curl forward. Maybe this is enough. Doing okay though? Stretch your legs. Reach through your arms, reach through your legs, squeeze those legs together. If you need more challenges, lower the legs a little, but I'm happy with my current level here. 4, 3, 2, and rest. Ha. Nicely done. Okay, last thing we're going to do in this little circuit for today is come on up to kneeling and grab that little kettlebell one more time, or the smaller of the two weights. Okay, so little hip activation here. Two choices. You can kneel, or you can have one leg forward, one leg back, which again is going to challenge your stability just a little bit more. And so you're going to grab your weight, bring it up. Maybe think about tucking your pelvis, pressing it forward. So you're really lining up your ribs over your hips. And then 3 each way here. Inhale here, exhale down and around. One more. All right, pause. Switch legs. Try to remember which way you went, reverse directions. Keeping the weight close to your body. Good job. And let that all go. Okay, in the interest of time, we're going to just do one more hollow hold, one more set of those halos, and then we're going to move into standing for some bigger exercises, yeah? So come onto your back for that hollow hold. Quick reminder, you can do this with your head down or heel taps. If the full hollow hold is not for you today for any reason whatsoever, I don't like them. It's a perfectly valid reason to do an exercise, by the way. Really. Okay, bend your knees in. I know, hot take. Inhale here. Exhale, nod your nose. Curl on up. Whew. Stretch those legs if you want to. Reach through your arms. Reach through your legs. Hold and breathe. 4, 3, 2, and rest. Nice work. Okay, let's do one more set of halos. Now, another choice this time. I'm actually going to demo my halos sitting in a straddle. I realize that this is not going to be an accessible position for everyone, but if it's accessible for you, it's a great way to challenge core stability and work our shoulders. So this is an option. If you don't want to do that, you'll do the same arm moves as me, just up here in kneeling, No problem, yeah? Okay, decide if you want to kneel or if you want to go for the seated straddle. Be thoughtful as you bring your weight in front of you. Again, kettlebell, dumbbell, it's fine. Your brain actually doesn't know the difference. All right, hold on to that sucker. Find your nice upright posture, whether you're kneeling or seated, and then you're going to take it around and forward. One more. Pause and reverse directions. Racking the weight right in front of you each time. Last one. Good job. Okay, let it go. Shake it out. Hopefully you're feeling pretty warm. I know I am by now. So let's move into some bigger exercises, shall we? So come on up to standing. And let's get in some squats. We have not really done those yet. And maybe some hinges or deadlifts. So I personally prefer not to be on my mat when I do a lot of standing work. I like the secure feedback of the not squishy floor. But again, depending on the environment that you're working in, you might have a different set of needs, or you might actually feel more secure on your mat. So again, just use your best judgment. I'm going to grab my heavier jump stretch band for this. And what we're going to do is you're going to step one foot on each side. Yeah. And then you're going to bring it up over your back like you are wearing suspenders. So you're going to look like so. Now, just something to keep in mind, you can always hold on to one of your kettlebells and you can always do squats like so. And also what I want you to notice is if the jump stretch band isn't enough, you can actually do what I just did. You can have your kettlebell and your jump stretch band and double up the fun. But I'm not feeling that adventurous today. So if you're just jump stretch band, maybe you just gently hold on to this like suspenders. It can also take a little bit of the pressure off you've got the band just below your neck. So for some of us, that's a sensitive area. Take your feet into whatever your preferred squat stance is. Nice upright posture. And then when you're ready, you're going to sit down, stand up. We're going to go for about 8 of these. If you're like, this is a cakewalk, grab that weight that you got too. You can also do this just body weight, by the way. Good. If you have knee stuff, maybe your butt goes a little more back, maybe your chest goes a little bit more forward. Also just take a peek that your big toes are staying down. You're pressing your knees a little open. I think we've got 2 more. We're going to call that 8. Might be wrong, but good enough. And stand tall. Nice work. Okay, to get out of this, you can pull it back over your head or you can kind of just sneakily slide it on off. Okay, from here, let's continue on working through our pulling muscles just a little bit. So of course, if you want to use a dumbbell or a kettlebell and just alternate just down one side like this, holding onto the weight and then switching sides, you can. I've got my band, so I'm going to stick with that. And then what I'm going to do is step one foot on each the middle of the band. And then what I want you to see here is I'm actually going to cross this. And you can see how even if my band wasn't a loop, you could still do this with any band you had at home, right? And then I'm going to look like so. So now that I'm in my position, I am going to open up my chest and my arms. I'm going to soften my knees. I'm going to send my butt to the back wall. And I'm going to just do a single arm row, just starting with the right. 2, 3. Opening the chest, shoulder out of ear. 5. We'll go 3 more. I know you can count, but I can't, so I'm counting for myself. 1 more. Good work. If you need a little break for your back, just stand up or reset your posture. Hey, if you're switching the weight to the other hand, now is a great time to do that. Come on down and then pull. And I'm trying not to twist. Good work. 6, 7, and 8. Stand tall. Let it rest. Nice job. Okay. Free yourself from the band. And then the last thing we're going to do here today is what's sometimes called a racked march or a farmer's walk. So again, it depends on your relative level of strength. Probably you're lighter weight, but I don't know, maybe you're heavier weight. You've got 3 choices for this. So option A is going to be the weight is going to be down by your side. Option 2 is going to be weight is racked at shoulder. Option 3 is going to be the weight is over your head. So any of those are great. I'm going to hold it racked here. And now 2 choices here. You can either march your feet, or I'm going to try not to walk off the camera, but you can start to play with heel toe walking one way and then the other way. And what I want you to notice, you can stick with your marching or your wandering in circles around your living room, how your abdominals and your body and your butt and everything engages in response to carrying this load, and how it's not unlike when you carry that big thing of LaCroix or dog food. You can also make a fist with your other hand to help. Okay, pause. Let's lower that down, and then you're going to switch sides. So assisting the weight up, however you need to. You can also hold a dumbbell. Keep that in mind. Remember, the weight can be here, here, or here. And then you can either march or take a walk. And just notice how your body might respond differently on one side than on the other. Okay, good work. Lower that weight thoughtfully. Guess what? We get to do that all over again. So second set of squats. I demoed with the band last time. Remember that if you don't have a band, if you got a dumbbell or a kettlebell, or you prefer it, you can hold it with 2 hands, and a squat, my friends, is a squat. You can also do this body weight only. If you're going to go with the band though, come with me. That's the one I'm demoing today. But like I said, resistance is resistance. Your brain doesn't know the difference. Either way, you'll get stronger. So hooray. So if you're using the band, you're going to bring it up and over, kind of like you've got suspenders. Take your feet out to whatever you feel like your preferred squat stance is. And if you're not sure, try a little narrow, try a little wide, see what works for you. Okay, when we're ready, we're going to go for about 8 of these. Butt goes back, sit down, stand up. Weight is through the midfoot and the heel. I personally recommend your toes staying relaxed on the floor if they can. Pressing the knees open, but not at the expense of the toes lifting. Good, we're gonna go about 3 more. That's it, last one. Good work. To get out of this, you can just roll it off your back, or you can nod your nose, pull the band up over your head, and then keep it, and we're going to be doing some rows. So like I said, if the band doesn't work for you, it's the exact same action if you got a weight, like so. So just keep that in mind. Otherwise, you're going to step onto your band, and then you're going to cross it. I've got my heavier band here, so for me, this feels okay for shoulders. If you needed more, though, the other thing you can do is, again, just step both feet. This is why I love bands on it. And then cross it, and now you have double the resistance to pull against when you go there, which I can handle, so I'm going to do it. Why not? Go for the harder one. Okay, so take your feet out about hip width apart-ish. Send your butt back, pick an arm, and start to pull and lower wrist to ribs. 2, chest is open. 3, check your knees. Hopefully they're in line with the second toe. 4, butt is back. 5, 6, this is much harder when you double it up. 7, and 8. I don't know why I'm surprised. Okay, stand up. Let's do side 2. Switch your weight to your other hand if you're doing a dumbbell or a kettlebell row today. Butt goes back, find your position. Let's hit it. 1, 2, 3. I always forget how hard bands are. 4 when you pick a heavy enough one. Press those knees and those arms open. 1 more. Stand up. and then let that go. Okay, grab the weight of your choosing. One more set of racked marches or carries. So remember the choice. You can do a different one than you did last time. Hand can be down here by your side. You can march, or you can wander aimlessly around the room like I do. You can be here, or you can even build overhead pressing strength up here. I'm going to go for this one today. Why not? Because I can. Hand, by the way, can be open or closed on a kettlebell. If you got a dumbbell, squeeze it. Okay, so remember, you can start with these marches, or you can start to kind of zombie walk around the room. I'm going to be honest, I haven't done this in a while. I forgot. This one's kind of hard. Try to keep that elbow straight. Whew, lots of work. Try not to lean over. Okay. Good job. Lower that guy. Switch to the other side. Remember option A, B, or C. They all have benefits. You can march or wander. Plenty of work. Yes, I think so. Okay, coming center. Lower that weight with control. Whew. And then shake it out. All right, let's move on. I'm going to do a quick time check, and then we're going to get into a new set of exercises. Goodness, that goes fast, doesn't it? All right, we got about 15 minutes. So next set of moves, going into deadlifts, which I'll be honest is one of my favorite exercises. So you know how this works, y'all. You got choice. So I'm going to show you a single leg version, but if that's not for you today, let me show you the alternatives. So probably I've got 3 weights with me, so I have the luxury of using my middle weight. But again, maybe you need the heavier weight, but if balance is an issue and you're coming with me, maybe you don't. It really just depends. If you're going to do a double leg deadlift, just real quick, the option is going to be, you probably will use the heavier weight. Your butt will go back. By the way, you could also set a dumbbell upright and hold on to the dumbbell ends like this, and that would work too. Chest is open. You can stand up and touch down, or you can actually start holding on to your weight in front of you like so, and then butt goes back. Maybe the weight touches the floor, maybe it doesn't, and stand up. Does not matter to me whether you start from standing, you start from the floor. So that's going to be if you do the double leg deadlift today. And then as always, if you're like, I don't have an appropriate weight for this, but you've got a band, you can step on your band, and what do you know? Deadlift. Okay, so that's option A. Option B, maybe you want to come along with something that challenges balance, but you don't have a wall. In that case, you're going to do a kickstand deadlift, which is butt back, knees in the same line, standing up, sitting back, standing up, and then we'll switch sides. Option C is going to be find a wall. You're going to take your feet a little bit wide. All right. And then, this is harder, standing up. That is the one I'm going to go for today. I'm not going to lie. This is not a cakewalk for me. It really challenges my hip strength. So I'm going to use my lighter weight. Okay, let's try it though. So just if you're doing double leg deadlifts, you're just going to do twice as many as the single leg because you'll go through the whole set with us. Otherwise, if you're single legging it, find your wall or your kickstand. Remember, the kickstand was this, a little bit easier. Take a moment, see if you can get your knees in the same line. And that might mean you have to like fuss a little bit. Look down. Okay, for me, that doesn't look too bad. You can make a fist with this other hand and not fall over, or even just kind of let your hand graze on the wall. And then butt goes to the back wall, knees do have to bend. Stand up. I instantly regret this life choice. Let's shoot for 5 to 6 of these suckers. Four, I'm going to squeeze my fist to help myself stand up. I think that was 5. And 6. Good job. Okay, side number 2. So put your foot down, switch your weight, take your other foot back. Remember, you can always kickstand this. Okay, when you're ready, Soften your knees, send your butt to the back wall. Notice if your knee is diving in. Mine is. Hey, sneaky. Take it up. And I feel myself going way that way. I am trying to keep equal weight across both sides of my body, but it's hard. That's all right. I think this is 3. We're going for 6. If you do fewer, that's fine. And 6. Okay, good job. Take a moment, put down your weight, shake it out. I don't know about you, definitely felt some newfound activation around my glutes. Okay, so moving on, let's just do a few good old-fashioned push-ups. So as always, choices, choices, choices. If you've got a countertop or a couch that doesn't move, maybe that incline is a good level. If you have a wall, maybe a wall push-up is where you can get full range and still feel challenged in your arms, or maybe you take it to the ground with me. Again, you've got choices, and if your push-ups aren't for you today, maybe you just hold a plank. Okay, so remember for push-up choices, knees underneath hips, a little kinder, body in a long line, a little trickier, up on your toes, trickiest still. We're going to go for 5 push-ups. If 5 is easy, maybe you do more, like 8 to 10. If 5 feels a little wild, maybe you do 3. So it's really about doing as many as you can with good enough form where you've control. So form doesn't do you perfect, but should be in control. Okay, when you're ready, you're going to lower down, exhale, press up. Now again, you need to see the choice. This is 3. If you really want to see the choice, 4. 1 more. 5. Good. Ease out of that. Shake it out. Nice work. Okay. Move your mat to the side. And let's go through those 2 exercises one more time, shall we? Oh, actually, I lied. Let's add in a press. We haven't done that yet. So let me show you the pressing options. I'm kind of excited about this one. So option A, you can always stand for this. This position will feel familiar though. You'll grab probably your lighter weight where you'll press overhead and come down. We're going to do 5 on each side, or you can sit in the straddle like we did for the halos, which is the one I'm going to demo today. If you don't have a weight, but you have a band, you can affix the band underneath one foot, and then you can play with whether you like the hand on the same side or the hand on the opposite side, maybe same side today. And then you can do the exact same exercise here with the band if you need. Otherwise, if you're using your weight, great, could be the kettlebell, could be the dumbbell. You can stay with that kneeling position or try the straddle. Why not, right? Okay, so find your weight, find your nice upright position, flex your feet, and let's go for 3 to 5 on each side. Yeah, this other hand can come out to the side if you need it. Take it up. By the way, it's harder down here than it is when you're kneeling and standing, I find. 2, watching out of the corner of your eye. 3, 4, and 5. Good job. Okay, relax for a moment. Shake out. My arm is tired. Let's do the other side. So take as long as you need. Switch the band to the other side if you're doing the banded choice. Stick with kneeling if you're sticking with kneeling, or hang out down here with me. Your call. They're all good exercises. They will all make you stronger. 3, 4, and 5. Nice job. Set that weight down. Shake out. Okay, let's go through all of that one more time. So remember, if you need, you can always grab your heavier weight or band, and you can do double leg deadlifts. So we're going to be doing 5 to 6 of those wall or kickstand deadlifts on each side. If you're doing the double leg deadlift, you, my friend, will be doing 10 to 12 double leg deadlifts. Quick review of what those look like. I'm just gonna use my smaller weight because I got it here. You can of course use a heavier weight. You can hold on to it, send your butt back, stand up. The weight does not need to touch the floor. Or you can do the one where if you need a quick refresh, stepping your feet on, and then butt goes back. It's the same exercise, standing up. Yeah. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, if you're using the wall, find it, or you can kickstand it. So remember, the kickstand is just like this. One foot is back, trying to keep your hips square, or the evil version of the kickstand, if you will, the villain, is to find that wall and then put one foot on it and not fall over. And you might need to like adjust exactly where that standing leg foot goes. And if it's a little wobbly and messy, hey, learning curve, no big deal. Okay, so nice open chest, upright stance. If you need to make a fist at any point and kind of squeeze it to help generate balance and tension, you may. Soften your knees, send your butt to the back wall. Your butt will not actually touch the wall, probably. Mine does not. Stand up. Your knees will want to cave in. Try not to let them, but if they do, you will be okay. As long as it doesn't creak or crank or hurt, the knees moving around a little bit is not what I call a crisis. 3. I'm only going to go for 5 on each side because, dang, I already feel these. 5. Good enough. Okay. Switching sides. I didn't want to do that bonus 6th one. If you did, good job. Okay. If you only did 5, still good job. We're working out. Either way, it counts. All right. Find your nice upright position. When you're ready, butt to the back wall, softening the knees as much as needed. Stand up. Sound effects are not required, but allowed. Try to keep the knees a little bit open. Why is this side so much harder? Probably because I'm cheating. I'm sure I'm doing some interesting movement compensation. Okay, it's all good though. Last one. Nice job. Okay, relax. What's up? Push-ups. So remember, if you don't want to be on the ground, because that doesn't work for you, if you got a countertop of some sort that doesn't move, or couch, great. The wall is also a fabulous place to do push-ups if on the floor doesn't work, or you can hold a plank. Otherwise, grab your mat if you're going to use it. I'm just going to go without. We're going to do up to 5 or 6 if, again, 10 is a better number for you or 3 is a better number for you. Cool. So find your position. Remember, you can be 4-point kneeling. A little trickier is with the knees back. Trickier still is on your toes. It's not about the hardest option. It's about picking the option where you have control, but you feel challenged. So you're going to know that for yourself better than I'm going to know that. Spin your elbows forward, lengthen out your spine. Let's go. Taking it down and up. And I want you to notice I'm not going super fast, but I'm also not going super slow, because super slow is super hard and I don't have that in me right now. Another day we'll do those. Remember, choices here. I'm going to do one more and call it good personally if you want to knock out a few extras. Good job. Okay, hold and rest. Shake it out. Final exercise for here, and then I think we're going to have to cool it down. Oh, yeah. Okay, great. Is we're going to do overhead presses. So just a quick note, I'm going to be sitting on the ground in a straddle. That may not be your exercise today, so if you need another choice, you can do it standing or kneeling like this. So keep that in mind. Or if the weight is not for you, but you have a band, you can put your foot around the band, and then on the same side arm, you can do that, and then switch sides. Yes? So do what works best for you. I would say 3 to 5 presses is what's in my wheelhouse for this weight and this level. But again, reps are going to be dependent on the weight you're using relative to your personal strength. So if you're done at 3, great. If you need to go more to like 6 or 8, also absolutely fine. If you feel like you could do 20, you probably want to use a heavier weight in the future. But again, use what you got. Okay, so I'm going to go for the straddle. It's a novel way to build strength with this flexibility and or mobility, depending on what words you use personally in your vocabulary. Find your position, find your sit bones. Let's go. 2. And again, if you need a little help, you can squeeze that other fist on the way up, relax it on the way down. 4. And let's go. 5. That was enough of that. Okay, put the weight down, shake out. Let's do side number 2. So bring it on in. Arm can be out here, arm can be here. It just depends. 1, 2. Exhale to press, inhale to lower. And I got one more good one in me personally. That's it. Okay, lower the weight, shake it out. All right, from here, find a comfortable position, seated or kneeling or even standing, up to you. If you want to grab your mat, you can, but we're just going to do a very quick cool down. Just look up and down a few times. Breathing in and out. And then take the arms out and maybe just do a little bit of shoulder rotation. All right, from here, again, grab your mat if you need it. Come on to hands and knees. Maybe a little bit of cat-cow now, getting the whole spine involved. Maybe a little bit of tail wagging. All right, from here, if you need to transition to standing a different way than what I'm about to do, absolutely no shame in that. But if you have it available, maybe a down dog. Maybe you play with alternating, bending and straightening the knees to drop one heel down at a time, pedaling the feet, pushing into your hands. Your heels don't have to touch the floor, by the way. I don't know who made up that rule, but you don't have to. Okay, drop your heels. Bend your knees as much as needed. Walk your hands back. Let your head hang. Exhale. Inhale here. Exhale, push into your feet. Roll your spine up. Find your upright, easy posture. Adjust your things as needed, especially if you have microphones or shirts that have ridden up. Roll your shoulders out a few times. All right, let that all go. We're going to call you good on that one. Thank you so much for joining me in today's strength workout. I really hope you enjoyed it.